In this video, we're diving deep into the complex world of Italian citizenship, including the latest updates for 2025. Buckle up because we're covering it all with clarity, detail, and a sprinkle of Italian flair to help you navigate this exciting journey. So, why pursue Italian citizenship? Before we dive into the pathways, let's talk about why Italian citizenship is so appealing. So, number one, EU citizenship. An Italian passport grants you the right to live, work, and study and travel freely across 27 EU member states, plus the EEA countries as well. It's a golden ticket to a continent of opportunities. Number two is global mobility. As of 2025, the Italian passport ranks among the world's most powerful, offering visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to over 190 countries, according to the Henley Passport Index. From Japan to Canada, your travel options are vast. Number three, dual citizenship. Italy generally allows dual citizenship, meaning you can retain your original nationality in most cases, unless your home country prohibits it. So countries like China or India may require renunciation, but if you're from the US, Canada, the Americas, Europe, other countries that permit dual citizenship, Italy allows it on their side. So this flexibility is a huge draw. The next benefit is economic benefits as well. Italian citizens enjoy access to Italy's public health care, education subsidies, and social services, plus the ability to own property and invest in the EU with fewer restrictions. Now let's explore the four main pathways to Italian citizenship, breaking down eligibility, requirements, processes, and key updates for 2025. So pathway number one is citizenship by descent, jure sanguinis, or right of blood. This is the most popular route for those with Italian ancestry. Previously, if your great-grandparents or even further back were Italian, you might have been eligible for Italian citizenship. There used to be no generational limit until this year, 2025, when a generational limit has essentially been implemented, so that now you can only go back as far as grandparents. Still, going back to grandparents is decent. Some countries only let you go back to parents, so at least to grandparents, it could be worse. But Italy used to be one of the most permissive countries in the world with citizenship by descent. That's changing. They're making it harder all the time. They've done multiple things in the past to make it a little bit harder, and now they've just made it incrementally harder as well. So for female ancestors, there's also a catch. Italian women couldn't pass citizenship to children born before January 1st, 1948, due to historical gender discriminatory laws. If your lineage includes a female ancestor from before 1948, you'll need to pursue a judicial process in Italy to claim citizenship. This is known as a quote-unquote 1948 case. So you're going to want to look for a lawyer or team that specializes in 1948 cases because they are sort of a unique situation. Another tip here is your Italian ancestor must not have naturalized as a citizen of any other country before the birth of the next person in your lineage. For example, if your Italian great-grandfather became a U.S. citizen before your grandfather was born, the chain is broken. Okay, so your grandfather only becomes Italian if his father had not naturalized, right? So you need to look at naturalization dates as well during this process and know the year that those descendants naturalized as U.S. citizens or Canadian citizens or wherever they ended up. If your ancestor naturalized after 1992, Italy's dual citizenship laws may still allow you to claim citizenship, as Italy began recognizing dual nationality that year. Next, documentation, which is really the heart of the process. you'll need a complete paper trail proving your lineage, including birth, marriage, and death certificates for every ancestor in the chain, from you back to the Italian-born ancestor. You'll also need naturalization records, as I mentioned, or proof of non-naturalization, like a certificate of non-existence of naturalization, from the country where your ancestor immigrated, which can be obtained from the USCIS or National Archives for U.S. citizens. Another one is divorce records as well, or other legal documents, if applicable, to clarify family ties, name changes as well. All documents must be apostilled for non-Italian records. They must be translated into Italian by a certified translator, not just any translator, they need to be certified. And they need to be legally certified by the issuing country as well, like the Vital Records Office. Any discrepancies in names, dates, or spellings must be resolved, often requiring affidavits or legal amendments. Then the process, so for consular applications, for straightforward cases, you apply at the Italian consulate in your country of residence. That again might be changing in 2025. Sounds like the consulate is trying to get away from this work and send it all to Rome. So there has been some indication that all citizenship by descent cases will be going to Rome in the future. We're in a little bit of a wait and see mode here regarding where exactly you would apply with new cases. You'll submit your documents, pay a fee, you'll wait for approval, be prepared for long wait lists. Some consulates, like those in the US, report backlogs of 2 to 3 years due to high demand. And in places like Brazil and Argentina, the wait list is even longer. So maybe things speed up. If Rome gets more involved, we'll have to see what happens. For the 1948 court cases, if your claim involves a pre-1948 female ancestor, you'll need to file a case in an Italian court, usually in Rome. This requires hiring an Italian lawyer specializing in citizenship law. The court evaluates whether the 1948 law violated Italy's constitution, which often results in a favorable ruling. This process can take 1 to 3 years, depending on court schedules and case complexity. Once approved, you'll register with your local comune, which is the municipality in Italy, or the consulate abroad, get registered in the AIRE, and you'll receive your Italian birth certificate and passport. So cost-wise, as of 2025, the consular fee for adult applications by descent has increased to 600 euros, up from 300 euros. And over 1 million people worldwide have claimed Italian citizenship by descent since the 1990s, with significant numbers from the US, Argentina, and Brazil, where Italian immigration was widespread in the 19th and 20th centuries. That wraps up everything about citizenship by descent. Now moving on to citizenship by marriage. We have a dedicated video about Italian citizenship by marriage, which you can also check out on the channel, but we'll give you a brief overview here as well. If you are married to an Italian citizen, you can apply for citizenship after meeting specific residency and language requirements. Here's the detailed scoop. So, eligibility. You must be married to an Italian citizen for a minimum period. 2 years if you're both residing in Italy, 3 years if you're living abroad, and these periods are halved if you have children, biological or adopted, with your Italian spouse. So 1 year living in Italy or 1.5 years living abroad if you have children together. The marriage must be legally recognized in Italy, meaning it's registered with an Italian comune or consulate. You must pass a language test, Italian language test at the B1 level, which is kind of lower intermediate of the European Common Framework of Reference for Languages, the CEFR, and this demonstrates conversational proficiency. The documentation you'll need is the marriage certificate registered in Italy, birth certificates apostilled and translated, criminal background checks apostilled and translated, proof of residency in the form of a utility bill or lease agreement, language certificate from an accredited institution, and proof of spouse's Italian citizenship. The process starts by submitting an application through the Italian Ministry of the Interior's online portal, the Portale ALI. Upload all required documents, pay the application fee, follow up with an in-person appointment at your local Italian consulate if abroad, or prefecture if in Italy to verify the documents. The ministry reviews your application, checking for completeness and eligibility. This can take up to 2 years, though processing times have improved slightly in 2025 due to digital upgrades. If approved, you'll take an oath of allegiance to Italy and receive your citizenship certificate. Some key considerations: your marriage must remain valid during the process. Divorce or separation can halt the application. The B1 language requirement, introduced in 2018, ensures you can integrate into Italian society. Start studying early. Language schools and online platforms like Duolingo or Babbel can help. As of 2025, consulates are cracking down on incomplete applications, so double-check your documents. Fun fact: Italy's marriage-based citizenship process is, according to some metrics, one of the stricter in the EU, with the language requirement setting it apart from countries like Ireland or Portugal, which don't mandate language tests for spousal citizenship. But on the other hand, you never have to live in Italy and get wrapped up in that tax system. You can do this living abroad. So I would rather be able to do this abroad with a language test than have to do this in person but no language test. Moving on to our next pathway to Italian citizenship, our third pathway is citizenship by naturalization. Naturalization is the path for those that have made Italy their home through long-term residency. It's a rewarding but demanding process. So here's the full picture. To be eligible, you need to meet the residency requirements. This is 10 years of continuous legal residency in Italy for non-EU citizens like Americans, Canadians, and Australians. The requirement is 4 years for EU citizens like French, German, and Spanish. The requirement is 3 years for refugees or stateless persons. And the residency is 5 years for those born in Italy or adopted by Italian citizens. You must demonstrate financial independence with a stable income, typically at least 9,000 euros a year for a single applicant is what I have in my notes, but it seems very low, very reasonable. You need A2 level Italian language proficiency, basic conversation skills, which is a requirement introduced in 2019. And you need to demonstrate integration into Italian society, shown through employment, community involvement, or cultural engagement. Okay? So again, for foreigners, gringos, Americans, 10 years of residency and some basic Italian skills. It's a very long-term path to citizenship, especially compared to a place like Portugal, which gives citizenship in 5 years. By the way, if you need help navigating which residency, which passport in Europe is best for you, you can book a call with us, MyLatinLife. There's a link in the description where you can book a call. We can get all your questions answered, make you a custom game plan, and ultimately put Italian residency or citizenship in your hands if that's the best option, and explore other options as well. So just keep that in mind. You can book a call with us, speak to us, and we can make a lot of progress on your case here. The key consideration here is that continuous residency means you haven't left Italy for more than 6 months at a time during the required period. The A2 language requirement is less demanding than the B1 for marriage-based citizenship, but it still requires effort. It's kind of funny that there's different levels for different types of citizenship. So Either way, consider enrolling in a local language school or online course. As of 2025, there's growing advocacy to reduce the 10-year residency requirement for non-EU citizens to align with countries like Germany, which is or was 7 years, or France, which is 5 years, Portugal, which is 5 years. But no changes have been legislated yet. Fun fact, Italy naturalizes about 150 to 200,000 people annually, with significant numbers from countries like Albania, Morocco, and Romania, reflecting Italy's diverse migrant communities. The fourth pathway is the Golden Visa pathway, which is an investment-based residency leading to citizenship. While Italy doesn't offer a direct quote-unquote golden visa for immediate citizenship, its investor visa and elective residency visa programs can lead to citizenship through naturalization after 10 years of residency. So here's the lowdown. With the investor visa, it requires a significant investment in Italy, such as 2 million euros in Italian government bonds, or 500,000 euros in an Italian company, or 250,000 euros for innovative startups, or 1 million euros in a philanthropic project. This grants a 2-year renewable residency permit, which can be extended as long as the investment is maintained. After 10 years of legal residency, you can apply for citizenship through naturalization, meeting the same requirements as above: A2 language, financial stability, and integration. The elective residency visa is designed for individuals with passive income who have a sufficient amount to support themselves without working in Italy. It requires proof of 31,000 euros a year for a single person, or 38,000 euros per year for a couple. This can be in the form of pensions, investments, or rental income. This leads to a 1-year renewable residence permit, which can also culminate in naturalization after 10 years. Some key considerations: these visas are stepping stones to citizenship, but not direct paths. You'll need to maintain residency and meet naturalization criteria. The investor visa is very popular among wealthy individuals from the US, China, and Russia, with over 1,000 visas issued since the program's launch in 2017. And word on the street is the investor visa in Italy is getting even more popular now that Spain has shut down their golden visa. So all that demand that used to go to the Spanish golden visa is now going to the Portuguese golden visa and the Italian golden visa. As of 2025, Italy has streamlined the investor visa process to attract more foreign capital with very fast processing times, could be, say, 3 months. It's much, much faster than the Portuguese program, which is taking about 1.5 years to process. So if it's important for you to be boots on the ground in Europe as quickly as possible, get your family to Europe as quickly as possible, Italy, you're looking at three months or so processing time versus Portugal's 1.5 years. So Italy is a clear winner there. So there's been a lot of key updates for 2025 when it comes to Italian dual citizenship and citizenship in general. We had the consular fee doubled to 600 euros. We have the 1948 court cases remaining robust and continuing to rule in favor of the applicants. We have digital improvements to the online portal, the Portale ALI, which I recommend you check out. We have a lot of residency advocacy going on with people pushing to lower the 10-year residency requirement to 5 or 7 years. And then the language testing has gotten more strict, and they've been implementing more of that as well. So overall, things have been getting harder to get Italian citizenship. And it's just like we're seeing all around the world. When it comes to citizenship and residency, it always gets harder and never easier. And that's why you should always get your process started as soon as possible. So some application tips for success. Navigating Italian citizenship can feel like a bureaucratic maze, but these tips will keep you on track. So number 1, document precision. Your documents are the backbone of your application. Ensure every certificate is apostille translated and certified. Make sure everything is consistent in terms of birth dates and names. Consider hiring legal help for complex cases. Hire Italian citizenship lawyers. They can streamline document collection, resolve inconsistencies, and represent you in court. If you're planning to qualify via the investor visa, again, you're going to need an agent to process that application. If you feel like you need a recommended lawyer or agent that you can trust, you can book a call with MyLatinLife. We have the best teams in Italy you could possibly have for all classes of visa, the investor visa, the self-sufficient visa, citizenship by descent. Whatever you need in Italy, we can help you out. Just book a call, link in the description, and we can get your case started. So stay patient, stay informed. Processing times can be long, especially for consular applications. Join online communities for peer advice and updates. We have a Telegram group dedicated to Southern Europe. There should be a link to that in the description as well. In conclusion, obtaining Italian citizenship is more than just a legal process. It's a gateway to embracing one of the world's most vibrant cultures, one of the world's best passports, unlocking EU opportunities, and connecting with your heritage or maybe even a new home. Whether you're tracing your ancestry, building a life with an Italian spouse, or integrating through long-term residency, or investing in Italy's future with the Golden Visa, each pathway offers unique rewards. Yes, the journey requires patience, paperwork, and persistence, but the chance to call yourself an Italian citizen with all its privileges is worth every effort. Thank you for watching. If this guide has inspired you to start your Italian citizenship journey or clarified your next steps, give this video a like, subscribe for more global citizenship content, and drop your questions or experiences in the comments below. See you in the next video.